Expanding a highway is never easy. You're working in a constrained space right next to live traffic with very little room to make mistakes. But now imagine doing it in the middle of the Rocky Mountain corridor. Welcome to Interstate 70, where just outside of Denver, crews at Floyd Hill are doing far more than adding a lane. They're building massive bridges, carving new roadway into the mountainside, and rebuilding a section of highway that's become one of Colorado's biggest weak points. All while dealing with high winds, steep grade, rock cuts, and danger all around. This is extreme construction in every sense, and it's the kind of project that deserves much more attention. So I traveled there to tell you all about it. What makes Floyd Hill so important is where it sits on the map. I-70 is Colorado's main east-west interstate. Coming out of the Denver metro, it's the road that funnels people into the central mountains, towards ski country, resort towns, freight routes, and communities deeper into the corridor. This is not a, but the critical economic and tourism route. So even before you get into the engineering, this is a road with an outsized job, carrying all trip types at once. To understand how we got here, let's quickly jump back. The 1944 Federal Highway Act originally authorized I-70 east of Denver, but no mileage was allocated west into the mountains. That changed in 1956, when the interstate system expanded and Colorado pushed hard to carry I-70 west across the Rockies despite the cost and engineering difficulty. That decision set off decades of mountain highway construction and eventually led to some of the corridor's most famous infrastructure, including the Eisenhower-Johnson Memorial Tunnel beneath the Continental Divide. From the beginning, this road was never simple. And that brings us to Floyd Hill. On a map, it's just a short section west of Evergreen. But zoom in, and you can see why it matters so much. This is the point where westbound I-70 narrows from 3 lanes to 2. It's where drivers hit a steep downhill grade, tight curves, in a section of road with limited shoulders and aging bridge infrastructure. The current alignment has poor sight distance, the bridge at the bottom of Floyd Hill has reached the end of its service life, and the existing geometry is tied to a high number of crashes. So this is a bottleneck layered on top of a safety problem. And because of where it sits in the network, the effects travel far beyond this hill. So Colorado decided to fix it. This project stretches about 8 miles, from east of Floyd Hill to just outside of Idaho Springs. But in that relatively short stretch, Colorado is packing an enormous amount of work. At a high level, the rebuild does 4 things. It adds a 3rd westbound lane through the existing bottleneck, shifts part of I-70 onto a new alignment to fix the hill's worst geometry, and adds frontage road and interchange improvements to make the corridor less fragile. But before the crews can even build the new highway, they first have to create room for it. The most dramatic part of this project is that westbound I-70 is being shifted south into the hillside above Clear Creek, which means the mountainside has to be cut back on a huge scale before the final roadway and structures can exist. And this is not one simple rock cut. The project includes 5 separate clearing and blasting zones. That work starts with rock scaling, which is the removal of loose and unstable material. By doing this before blasting, crews reduce the possibility of loose rocks flying during a blast and clean up time following it. Unlike softer earthen material in the Denver area, mountain rock is harder and cannot be excavated with conventional methods. Rock blasting is used to fracture and remove it, drill a hole, place explosive, then trigger a controlled blast to break the rock for excavation. Only then can crews start carving deeper into the slope. Since blasting began in October of 2024, more than 135 blasts have removed over 600,000 tons of material. What makes this even more impressive is the setting. This is active mountain work above a live interstate, so crews are dealing with rockfall risk, using mitigation measures like mesh and netting, and fitting the blasting schedule into narrow off-peak windows. This holds traffic for up to 20 minutes at a time, with delays reaching 45 minutes as traffic clears. And because there's no real detour route through this section, even the construction process shows how unforgiving this corridor is. In a normal widening project, you're usually fighting right-of-way and utilities. Here, crews are fighting the mountain. And all that excavation is leading to the project's signature piece, the new westbound bridge at the bottom of Floyd Hill. This is probably the furthest thing from a standard like-for-like bridge replacement. The new structure, rising about 115 feet, will carry westbound traffic on a new alignment high above the current roadway. In effect, the interstate is being lifted out of its old position and reset into a layer that better fits the terrain around it. The bridge is being built as a cast-in-place segmental structure, which basically means it's formed piece by piece in its final position. In this case, the bridge is going up roughly 30 feet above the current I-70 lanes near the US 6 interchange. Crews build outward from the main support columns, or piers, by pouring concrete in short sections about 15 feet long. These sections use a temporary support system known as a form traveler, which acts like a hanging mold. Every new section becomes the base for the next one, so the bridge slowly grows outward from each side until the span meets in the middle. Work begins in the north pier above the current westbound lanes, then shifts to the south pier above the eastbound side. It's a slower method than dropping in a few large girders, but it gives the crew much tighter control in a site like this, where they're spanning over live traffic, rough terrain, and the creek below, while trying to keep disruptions down. But the bridge and the mountain work are only the most visible parts. The rest of the project is about making the entire corridor function better, something that the average traveler probably cares a lot more about. The most obvious part is the lane widening itself. Through this stretch, the project adds that missing third westbound lane through the bottleneck, which is being set up as a full-time tolled express lane. In the environmental review, the existing lane drop from 3 to 2 cuts westbound capacity to about 3,600 vehicles per hour, even though the highway east of Floyd Hill can process about 6,000 vehicles per hour. The project estimates the rebuild will increase corridor throughput by about 53%, from that 3,600 number to 5,500. The quick, obvious downside is the toll. While it will be optional to take, this extra space is a managed lane where every vehicle pays, and there's no HOV free use policy in the Mountain Express lane system. Then, there's the road network around the interstate. One of the more important fixes is a missing 2-mile frontage road connection between US 6 and the Hidden Valley Central City Parkway interchange. A frontage road is a lower speed parallel connection that gives traffic, responders, and maintenance crews another way to move through the corridor when the interstate itself is disrupted. This project also moves the current left merge westbound US 6 on-ramp, which removes one of the more awkward merge conditions in the area. It also adds an extended on-ramp from US 6 onto eastbound I-70, so slow-moving vehicles have more room to get up to speed before entering traffic. Alongside this, roundabouts are being added to help improve circulation, and separately, the project includes upgrades to the nearby Greenway Trail. I quickly mentioned it earlier, but there's also an obvious safety reason this project exists. In the Floyd Hill project area, the 3 biggest crash types were fixed object crashes at 35%, rear end crashes at 33%, and sideswipes at 16%. This shows that there are narrow shoulders, tight curves, a steep downgrade, and traffic that shifts from full speed to slow in a very short amount of time. The scoped cost for this project is now about $905 million, up from $700 million in 2020. $100 million of this is being funded federally, with the rest coming from the state. Construction began in July of 2023, and the project is firmly in its main build-out phase, as you've been able to see from my site visit in early 2026. The current schedule has westbound I-70 shifting into its new alignment by the end of 2027, eastbound by the end of 2028, and the full project finishing in 2029. One of the biggest current milestones is the new westbound segmental bridge at the bottom of Floyd Hill, which began major alignment work this spring and is expected to continue through mid-2027. This isn't the biggest highway project in America, nor is it the most famous, but it is one of the clearest examples of what real infrastructure work looks like when a critical piece of road reaches its limit. It shows how much effort, precision, and persistence it takes to fix a weak point that most people only experience as delay or danger. And that's what makes this project worth paying attention to. The real test is whether a few years from now, this stretch of I-70 works better than it does today. I'm Josh, this is Buildcore, thanks for watching.